In Solo Leveling, Chairman Go-Gun-hee reflects on Byung-goo's sacrifice when he receives a call about a B-rank gate opening in the middle of the road. Knowing that a B-rank gate isn't something an average attack squad can handle, he decides to contact a large guild. However, he learns the location is near Jinwoo's new office. Jinwoo, wondering what Mrs. Sellner saw in him, notices the unusual traffic and receives a call from Chairman Go. The chairman informs him about the B-rank gate and asks if he can take care of it. Jin questions what about permission. The chairman laughs, saying that the permission comes from him. As the new stations secure the poorly positioned gate, an agent shouts at a man before realizing it's S-rank hunter Sung Jinwoo. The agent explains to Jin that even as an S-rank, he must follow protocol and cannot enter without a team, even if he has special permission. Jinwoo calls the chairman and hands the phone to the nervous agent. When asked who it is, Jin replies, "Someone you can't argue." Realizing it's the chairman, the agent quickly takes the call as Jinwoo steps into the gate. Hoping Jinwoo will stumble, the agent is stunned when the gate suddenly turns red, questioning if his own wish caused it. Jinwoo remains calm and notes that the gate feels like a red gate, realizing he may need to push himself a little. A flashback shows Jinwoo's mother explaining that the awakening couldn't be prevented, and as an S-rank, he will have to save countless lives just like his father. She recounts how his father inspired her love when he risked himself to save others. She advises Jin not to overexert himself, and Jin finds comfort in knowing she doesn't oppose his path as a hunter. Back in the present, Jinwoo confidently states the task will be completed within a day. His lower-level shadows charge forward, while mage-class shadows cast explosive spells that devastate the monsters. The rest of the shadow army joins in. Igris drives his blades through a monster's head. Iron crushes another. Tusk and Tank unleash thunderous roars, while Baru strikes fear into the remaining enemies. As the battle winds down, Jinwoo's shadows kneel in respect as he walks through the battlefield, calmly stating, "Let's move on to the next target." A hunter gasps to catch his breath before asking, "What are you?" Sillid says that he isn't one either. They're cleverly concealing the fragments of brilliant light. The blue grandpa senses a presence and turns to see Yogamont, who says he's here to deliver information regarding the territory in the east. Sillid verifies, asking if he means the small eastern territory where the Shadow Monarch currently is. Yogamont explains that it appears the rulers plan to release Legia south of that area, so he will handle that region instead. He adds that as long as the architect performs its role properly, there shouldn't be any issues. Yogamont then brings up more intriguing news. It has been confirmed that the greatest fragment of brilliant light is located there. The Blue Elder chuckles, amused that Yogamont came just to tell him that. Yogamont asks what he plans to do. The Elder replies that if Yogamund is willing to give it up, then he'll gladly accept it. He suspects they were drawn here deliberately. Someone like that shouldn't possibly have a fragment of brilliant light. A hooded figure steps closer, clearly intending to block their path. The hooded man asks if the small eastern territory they mentioned refers to Korea. The Blue Elder questions why that would matter to him. Yogamont tells the Monarch of Frost that they don't have time to waste. The Frost Monarch challenges the man to stop them if he can. As they walk toward a gate, the hooded man summons his daggers and charges, shouting, "I won't let you escape!" Swinging his blades, he slashes at the Monarch, who quickly forms an ice barrier to block it. The Blue Elder grins as the man stands firm, and a massive explosion erupts. Back inside the red gate, a monster asks if Jin is the one who has been slaughtering all of his brothers, calling him impressive for reaching this far and for being able to speak their language. He shouts that this is the end, yelling for his comrades to come out of hiding, but nobody comes forward. The boss freezes in confusion. Jin laughs, saying that's funny, and commands his shadow army to come forth. Suddenly, the boss is struck in the head by an object. He catches the object and opens his hand. It's a severed head thrown by Baru. Before Jin even gives the order to kill, his shadows launch forward, ripping through the tribal monsters. Jin calmly walks toward the boss. Two guards rush to intercept him, but Tank effortlessly swipes them out of the way. The boss screams, and in that instant, Baru and Igris attack simultaneously. Baru tears off the monster's arm, and Igris slices his leg clean, dropping him to the ground. Tusk chants the Hymn of Giants and unleashes gravitational magic, smashing the boss into the earth. Jin approaches and says, "Answer my questions. It'll hurt less if you cooperate." But Jin learns nothing, concluding that the system is interfering again. Reaching into his inventory, he says it's fine. He'll learn anyway. Jin pulls out the key he acquired from the magic box. Now that he has reached level 100, part of the key's information has been revealed. During the Jeju Island raid, Jin discovered the key's name and purpose. It grants access to the Cartanon Temple, which will be disclosed after a set period. Jinwoo says he could never forget the Cartoon temple, no matter how hard he tried. He thinks back to the double dungeon as he stands in front of the system screens. It's calling him back to where everything began. But this time things are different. If all of this was planned from the start, if it's waiting for him to return, then in that case, wait for me. I'm coming. Someone knocks on the door of Jinwoo's office. Jin-ho opens, and a voice asks if this is Sung Jinwoo's guild office. Jin-ho confirms, but as he peeks to see, he freezes after seeing S-rank hunter Hae-in standing there. Jinwoo asks why she's at his office, and she calmly says she wants to join his guild. After sitting down, Jin asks her to repeat it, and she confirms that she wants to join. Jinwoo can't understand and wonders if the chairman forced her or if Choi Jong-in kicked her out of his guild. She says no. Jinwoo then asks why she would want to join their solo player guild. Disgusted, Cha questions the name, and Jinwoo says that's the name they agreed on. But Jin-ho jumps in, surprised the name was already decided, and brings up his ideas again. Jinwoo replies that the vice guild master didn't object, so he assumed he agreed. Jin-ho tries to calm himself down, thinking he's losing focus because of the situation. Jinwoo realizes, judging by her expression, that Cha is trying to act composed, but she can't fool him. He asks why she is going through all of this to join their solo play guild, mentioning it hasn't even been 2 years since her awakening, and asks if she is still under contract with the Hunters Association. She responds that she has enough money to pay the penalty for breaking the contract. Jinwoo notes that she's even willing to pay to join, and tells her that his guild doesn't have the budget to pay someone of her level, but she says she doesn't need a signing bonus. The guild master asks why she's going this far when joining his guild won't benefit her. Cha thinks about how to explain it, realizing he'd think she was insane if she spoke honestly. First, she was drawn to his scent, pulled by curiosity, even when she resisted thinking about him. To her, he became the only light in a dark world. Trying to speak, she melts down right in front of him, leaving Jinwoo wondering what she's hiding. He asks why she can't just answer, and seeing her blush confirms she's hiding something. He asks again if she'll answer, and she blurts out that she wants to live comfortably. Jinwoo thinks that Cha is only around 22 or 23 years old, and that carrying the weight of an S-rank hunter must be exhausting. Jinwoo says it's a new rule, and that the vice guild master must have forgotten to mention it. He then tells Jin-ho to get drinks and snacks for their guest. Cha asks what kind of test it is. Jinwoo tells her she must defeat a summon of his choice. Cha questions if his evaluation of her is really that low and demands to know which summon. Jinwoo replies, "For you, Hunter Cha, I'll choose the strongest." After Hunter Cha declares she wants to join Jinwoo's guild, she asks when they can proceed with the entrance test. Jin suggests they can do it immediately at the association's gymnasium. At this moment, he considers testing whether his shadow exchange skill can transport 2 people. As Cha prepares to walk out the door, Jinwoo stops her, saying there's an easier way to get there, but they'll need to stay close together. The Rizzler wraps his arm around the flustered Hunter and uses shadow exchange. The lights flick on in the gymnasium as Rizwoo and Hunter Cha arrive. Cha is stunned by the teleportation. Jinwoo thinks to himself, I was right. Realizing shadow exchange works like a gate, his location becomes the entrance, and his shadow becomes the exit. Jinwoo says, let's begin, but Mommy Cha suddenly remembers she forgot her weapon. Jin teases, pickaxe. Completely embarrassed, she blushes, remembering that was the first weapon he ever saw her use. Cha tells him that's not her weapon, and he laughs, saying he was just kidding. Still shy, she says there should be a decent weapon available. After unlocking the storage room with her card, she mentions the weapons aren't the best, more suitable for sparring. I'm ready, she says, walking out with a sword. Jinwoo asks if she's okay with it, noting it's not her usual sword and might not be ideal. She responds that it doesn't matter what weapon she uses, because monsters don't fight on equal terms anyway. Jinwoo agrees, thinking that if he summoned an ordinary soldier, they'd be destroyed in seconds. He then summons Igris, saying he's the most skilled swordsman among his shadows. Cha asks how the match will be decided. Jin tells her they'll fight until she can destroy his summon or she surrenders. Though he promised Hunter Cha he'd use his strongest summon, he thinks fighting Baru would be too much. Mommy Cha prepares for battle when Jin suddenly remembers she said weapons don't matter and asks if Cha can turn around while he discusses something with a confused Igris. This is when he grants Igris the S-rank Demon King's longsword, and the arc continues. Follow for more.